the biggest movie deal ever undertaken in the Southern Hemisphere. The multi-million-dollar deal will see Jackson make 3 films based on the Tolkien classic Lord of the Rings. Julie Roberts has the details.
Peter Jackson's always dreamed of making an epic fantasy film. This is a dream come true.
I never really thought that I'd one day get my hands on Lord of the Rings, which is like the holy grail of fantasy books. And it's 45 years since it was published. It's never been made into a film, and I never really dreamed that I'd be the guy to do that.
Jackson's been secretly working on the project for nearly 2 years, but has only now got the green light. $260 million from American film giant New Line Productions.
It should hopefully make people realise that filmmaking in New Zealand is a potential earning source on a huge scale.
Academy Award-winning Sol Zantz of the English Patient fame will be executive producer. Jackson will direct. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings follows 4 dwarf-sized hobbits on an amazing adventure across an ancient kingdom called Middle-earth. Enter the special effects wizards at Wellington's Weta Studios.
What we've decided to do is to cast normal actors, give them sort of rubber prosthetic feet that are a little bigger and hairier than ours, and use the computers then to shrink them down.
Jackson reckons the project will pump about $230 million into the local economy over the next 2 years. The film industry is buzzing.
The best possible news. It's the single best thing that's ever happened in the New Zealand film industry, that's what I think.
Filming's expected to begin next May. Julie Roberts, One Network News.
At the heart of the Fellowship of the Ring is Elijah Wood as Frodo, the Hobbit hero who bears the Ring of Power.
Frodo enjoys the idea of adventures, and he's got quite a lot of knowledge for a Hobbit about the rest of the world. So that kind of sets him apart from everybody else. In being able to accept the responsibility of holding the ring and taking the ring to Mordor and destroying it, which is an incredibly difficult task for anyone. But hobbits, being as innocent as they are able to withstand the power of the ring much longer than any other species.
Good. Okay, we'll just do one more.
Sean Astin plays Frodo's loyal companion, Sam Gamgee.
The friendship between Frodo and Sam is a very, very powerful friendship, and it really is one of the things that drives the story of the Lord of the Rings.
Sam belongs with Frodo, and wherever Frodo goes, I want to go. And even if it means right into Mordor and into death.
Frodo and Sam are joined on the journey by fellow hobbits Merry and Pippin, played by Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd.
Merry and Pippin are really the wild cards in the movie, and they play that all the way through. And they have a comedy element to them, which is really the spice in the Fellowship.
You know, these 2 hobbits who are incredibly close, they're still trying to hold on to this world that they had, which was eating and drinking and partying.
For those who are watching the making of the film, this will never ever be in the movie. Action.
Sir Ian McKellen is the Grey Wizard Gandalf.
The Gandalf that you will see, and at least outwardly, is very much the image that people are familiar with, the man striding with the wind in his hair and his beard and his cloak.
He can come across as a very cliched wizard. I mean, he even wears the pointed wizard's hat. Although, having said that, I think Lord of the Rings is where the cliche actually originated from. So this is the source material, as it were.
Christopher Lee is the power-hungry wizard Sauron.
And Saruman is very definitely the most brilliant, the most powerful, with the greatest intellect and the greatest knowledge. And because he's in touch with Sauron, who of course is his master, he attains such power that it goes to his head.
Viggo Mortensen was cast as the heroic mortal Aragorn.
Alrighty, starting up the torch then.
He's self-sufficient, can take care of himself in the woods, can sort of take care of groups of people, but he's untested and untried as a leader of people.
Sean Bean is Boromir.
I think Boromir brings a human quality to the Fellowship. He's a man, and he's coming with a very clear opinion about what he wants and how to use the ring to help his people.
The weapon of the enemy is a gift. Let us use it against him. You cannot wield it. None of us can. The ring must be destroyed.
Sounds rolling.
Kate Blanchett plays Galadriel, the elf queen of Lorien.
Galadriel is someone who has an edge of danger about her because she is a ring bearer, and I suppose that she has the potential, if she was to take the One Ring, that she too could turn into the evil force that Sauron is.
Representing the elves in the Fellowship is Orlando Bloom as Legolas.
I've definitely gone along the lines of the warrior elf for Legolas. He's capable of picking up any weapon and using it, you know, with the greatest of ease.
Liv Tyler plays the brave elf princess Arwen.
She is torn between love of her people, of her father, but also of a mortal man, Aragorn. And because she's an elf, she is immortal. But if she really wants to be with the person that she loves the most, she has to give her immortality up.
The idea really that I give everything to share that love with him, which is so amazing, is really beautiful, I think.
Yep, turn around.
Rounding out the group is John Rhys Davies as Gimli the Dwarf.
I've never had to play a part where you look up all the time to do your acting, you know. Fantastic part, a wonderful character.
New Line also showed more than 20 minutes worth of scenes from the trilogy. It was the first time the cast had seen it.
But this is one of the first big chunks that was quite finalized for us to see.
With music.
Yeah,
and special effects as well.
And what was your impression?
That was great.
Amazing.
Didn't know what to say.
I understand that everybody liked it so much you asked if you racked up against you could see it once more times.
It's so overwhelming.
How long have you been working on the films already? You're shooting all for 3 at one time, right?
First of all, photography is wrapped on all three films.
All
three. 15 months.
That's a long time.
I brought my daughter down to New Zealand when she was 2, and when I brought her back home to Los Angeles, she was 4. And by the time she sees the last one, I think she'll be 9 or 10. Oh my God! Wow!
It's kind of mind-blowing. But to me, it's well-deserved attention for Peter Jackson and for the super scum. This is human stuff. I'll let you talk to him.
You know, imagination before reality is so much easier to digest. You imagine a situation, you're like, yeah, I can do it. 15-month film, 3 movies, 5 in the morning, seeing the same people every day. Yeah, all right, it's an adventure. I can do it. But it's so much different than what the actual reality is.
We had an agenda initially to cast English actors as the hobbits. Tolkien wrote The Shire as England, and the hobbits are little English people going out into the big bad world. And a package arrived in the London casting office from Elijah Wood, and Elijah had heard about the project and had a friend of his videotape his own audition.
It wasn't like a normal role. I didn't have to be a human. I could be a hobbit. And there were things that were sort of germane to being a hobbit. That was probably why it was so intriguing.
We were at a desperate point that we really couldn't find a Frodo, and then suddenly we put this videotape in the machine, and that was Frodo. It was an extraordinary thing.
I mean, he was very unusually focused and professional and very mature, and I think that was because of being in the movie business since, he was a boy.
The hero of Lord of the Rings is definitely Frodo Baggins. He is a character who ultimately has to make really the greatest sacrifice.
There's sort of an inner strength in Frodo that makes him unique in being able to accept the responsibility of taking the ring to Mordor and destroying it. Are you frightened? Yes, not nearly frightened enough.
The scenes that are most difficult to translate from book to screen are the scenes containing a lot of exposition, and that they're the scenes that carry a lot of the weight of what's happening in the story and who's doing what to whom. And obviously for a movie audience we have to try and make that as clear as we possibly can, and we all know that Tolkien's world is very complex, and so scenes like the Council of Elrond at Rivendell have been fiendishly difficult to turn into cinema, because it is a group of people sitting around talking about the plot which usually is very hard to do in a film anyway and make it seem real. It's obviously a very important scene in the books, so we have to have it, and Tolkien, it's like 20 or 30 pages long in the books, and so we needed to really condense that, but to give an essence of all the different characters coming together with their opinions and setting out the story as it is. It was also quite difficult to write scenes in which Gandalf was at bag end with Frodo telling him what he had to do, because again they're exposition scenes, and they're usually the ones that you're most afraid are going to come across as being clumsy and awkward, and we've had to try and do it in a way to make it as cinematic as we possibly could.
Ja Rule, featuring Ashanta, always on time, I want to be. We're here with the cast of Lord of the Rings, and it's out on the 19th. I think everybody, if you've seen any press for this movie, you recognize, as we've talked about today, the Fellowship transcended the set. They're very close in real life. Before they got here today, we asked you guys to fill out some little questionnaire about yourself. Just have a little fun with it, and we'll see how well you really do know each other. First question is for Sean. Who said their favorite movie was Rushmore, Sean?
Favorite movie
Elijah.
Rushmore. Yeah, Elijah.
Elijah
said Sean. Did he?
Is that correct?
Sean, what do you think? You going to go with that? That's correct.
Bachelor #1 for sure.
Great movie. Next one is for Billy, whose favorite thing to eat on the set was a Subway meatball sandwich.
Subway meatball. Would that be Sean Astin?
Yes.
That was hard.
No sheep meatball, just a Subway meatball, right?
And like 25 of them.
Yeah, at a time.
Elijah, this one's for you. Who said their favorite band was the Beatles?
That would be Dominic Monaghan.
Oh, pretty impressive.
Nice.
You know each other pretty well. Orlando, for you, who said their favorite band is the Smashing Pumpkins?
That's Elijah.
That's right.
Elijah, how much does it suck that, like, they just don't play anymore?
It's very sad.
Isn't that
Actually, went
bad?
and saw Zwan in Los Angeles, Billy's new band.
Oh, really? How was it?
Unbelievable. Really, really
Like,
good.
between Rage Against the Machine, the Pumpkins, like, two of the
Sad.
greatest bands.
So sad.
Anyway, sorry.
Their greatest hits is great. Lots of new added material.
All right, this last one is for Dominic. Who spent most of their time golfing when they were not shooting?
Sean Astin.
That's exactly right. All right, how about a round for the cast? We'll talk more with them in a second.
You had to work on the meatball sandwiches.
You and I need to go play a little golf. Let's watch We Fit Together. Here's O-Town, who did a nice job for the Z100 show here in New York last night. This is video 4 on TRL.
Oh my goodness.
Hello. Hello, my dear fellow.
How are you?
Paul Holmes Television.
Well, I know you were on my home street. The year in New Zealand had a huge effect on me in many ways. It appealed to that side of me that doesn't like particularly living in a large city.
Are you coping with it all right?
Yeah, so far. I think I'm very proud of the film, and I'm proud of everyone's work, and you know, it's great to be seeing it doing so well and being received so well.
You seem to respond very well to New Zealand when you were there. I mean, you seem to get quite into the place. Yes?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I miss it. You know, every time I go home, or every time I go to New Zealand, it feels like home. Going back to Wellington is a wonderful feeling.
Do you enjoy New Zealand?
New Zealand is probably one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and I loved every minute of it.
Has it got enough there for you, though? I mean, did you miss the rest of the world when you were there?
No, I was surfing, bungee jumping, skydiving, snowboarding, basically having the best time of my life.
I'll be back, and I can't wait.
Good luck, Elijah Wood. How wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All the best for the film.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
All right.
Hey, Paul.
Billy.
No, I'm Dom. This is Billy.
Oh.
Hi.
Billy.
You remind
You're
me.
Dom.
I'm Dom.
Mate,
You remind
Dominic.
me of New Zealand.
How are
You remind
you?
me of New Zealand so much.
No, you are Meriadoc.
That's
Meriadoc.
right. That's right.
And Billy.
Aye, and this is
Peregrine.
Yes.
Yes.
How are you? How's
Hey.
New Zealand?
New Zealand's great. Misses
Yeah,
you,
we
though.
can't wait to get there. Can't wait to get there.
New York City, big premiere. What about this?
It's great, isn't it?
Great. Why?
It's great. It's
Aye.
just like a lot of fun.
We're so proud of this film. It's a New Zealand film, really, isn't it? I mean, the money came from, California, but we're very proud of it. Should we be?
I think so. New Zealand looks absolutely stunning on camera. I think the real star of the show is New Zealand, you know. It just changes every time that the camera cuts, you know. It's brilliant. It's yourself. I'm being fondled by Sean Bean. Every woman's dream.
It's probably the best country I've ever been to in my life, and I'm not just saying that. I mean, I've been to Russia, Africa, many, many countries. But that was the place where I found it so peaceful, the people so warm, so supportive.
And I just want to go back there. I mean, you know, I think England are playing New Zealand cricket next year in
We'll see you
Wellington.
there.
So I want to get back there because, and I mean it is a very special place. It's got a special place in my heart.
Do people confuse you with Peter Jackson? Have you had this?
Yes, indeed. I claim to be Peter Jackson. In fact, I am Peter Jackson.
You've got long pants on.
I've got long pants on. That would be the giveaway, wouldn't it?
Hard work on the film?
Enormously hard work. But you guys have got a director of genius. And that's so easy for actors to say. But let me say, I have worked with a few real directors of genius, and Peter Jackson has got everything. Every single quality a director needs to do it all. And he's the first that I've ever encountered like that. If you guys were smart, you would give this man a knighthood. Why would you do that? Because it's going to cost you nothing, and because it would be a real mark of respect for a great and patriotic New Zealander who's going to do more to put your country on the map than anyone since Captain Cook.
Peter, so you are the man. You are the man. New York premiere, the works.
It's pretty exciting. I'd much prefer to be behind the camera, though. This sort of stuff isn't really me.
Let me ask you now, reaction to the film, you happy?
Yeah, very happy. You know, it's always a source of constant stress when you're making a movie. You work for years on a film and you never quite know whether people are actually going to like it or not. And it's always a good time when people are seeing it and they're saying nice things. And it sort of makes all the hard work melt away. It's exciting, it's tiring, it's stressful, it's harder than making the movie. I find this sort of stuff not the easiest thing in the world.
I hope it goes well. Thank you very much.
Paul. Thanks very much,
Bye,
Paul.
Peter.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. Sean Astin.
Sean, yes.
Sean Astin.
My captain, my liege, my hobbit.
You love him?
Very much so. Very much so.
Can you turn around so the camera can see you, Sean, please? It's an
Sorry.
old filmmaking
Sorry,
technique.
old
you know?
filmmaking technique. Big close-up. That's the camera, Sean.
Sorry, boss.
Just remember your lines.
Yes, sir.
Do you enjoy it there?
Very much, yes. Yes. We had an absolutely beautiful time in both the North and the South Island, and all of the people were incredibly sweet to us. And I spent most of my time in Wellington, so.
You lived very quietly. I mean, nobody, you know, there was no noise. There was no terrible reputation for partying. You must have worked very hard.
I'm not a party animal. I'm completely blown away with the whole team, and particularly with Peter, with his courage and his vision. And when I saw the film for the first time, I just was floored because I had expected a lot, but not nearly as much as he actually gave us.
We have made a masterpiece, and in 20 years' time, when you look back on your top 10 favorite films, Lord of the Rings will be there.
There were times that were hard. There were times that were stressful, and you were, you know, exhausted. But there was never a time when I didn't want to be doing it.
That time in New Zealand, the sort of adventure and the journey that we traveled on to bring these stories to film was truly profound and incredible.
I just think it's just the guts and the courage for someone to take on 3 films, not just one massive epic of a classic story, but 3 films back to back.
There's never been a book like it in history. For me, it's the greatest book I've ever read.
if he goes through that soon.
They're having a party down there. So.
Character's really great, and the difficulty was, the length of the project, the amount of time that you.
Oh, someone's gonna fall there.
No, because the movie represents love for all of us and something.
Yeah, carry on, you can do it, you can do it. You can do it!
If I'm associated with it for the rest of my life.
And then jump. That's excellent. They fucking all got up there. Teamwork City. Yeah, now they can watch it on telly.
You've got a lot of things that you want to get off your chest as far as just making this movie and this movie to yourself. First and foremost, as a Wellingtonian, what is it like to come home with something that everybody can eat? Well, this is the best possible screening. This is the real premiere. We can forget all the others. We have so much help from this city when we were making this film, and we're just so pleased that the city's turned out for this party for us. It's fantastic. Have you got the ring out of your system now?
Dude.
Hello, Hugo.
Hi, nice to meet you. Hi.
Welcome to New Zealand
Thank you
again.
very much.
How is it to come back here?
It's good to be back. I just flew in yesterday and went straight to my favourite cafes. So it was good. It was good, you know.
You've been involved in some pretty big movies, but what's different about this one?
This is bigger. Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a bigger film made anywhere, but that could be a disaster. But Peter managed to kind of keep this one going and keep positive and keep his sense of humour and keep a family together, and it was a very special time for everyone, I think.
How did you feel when you saw the completed product up there?
I haven't. I'm seeing it tonight.
You've seen a few?
I've seen lots of bits of it, but not the whole thing, so I'm really excited about seeing it.
What did you think of the stuff that you have seen so far?
Extraordinary. Yeah.
Blown away?
Yeah, I saw a 20-minute segment that they took to Cannes, and I was really knocked off my feet.
How physically rigorous was it on you, this movie?
Generally not very physically rigorous, because I'm a wise, good elf who stands around in robes with ears. But there were a couple of weeks that we spent on Mount Ruapehu in the freezing cold, wielding swords, and that was fairly rigorous, but generally not so.
Excellent. Good to have you back.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi. Hello. Hi again.
Hi.
You went to the London premiere.
I did.
How does this one feel in comparison?
It blows it out of the water. Yeah. This is amazing.
It's extraordinary.
Oh my God, it just proves that the heart of these films lies in New Zealand. You know, I mean, it's, hey, I'm up in the screen. Scary. Oh, hi. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible, overwhelming and heartwarming.
Have you bumped into friends that you left here when you went back overseas?
I haven't had enough time as of yet. I just arrived this morning, so yeah, I know. I haven't had time to kind of contact people and see people, so.
Are you ready to party hardy tonight?
I'm tired, but yeah, no, definitely. I think I'll get my second win once I see old friends, so.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Now, Peter Jackson in Wellington speaking right now to the crowd.
Ring out of your system now? No. No, I've still got a couple of years to go before it's finished, so a little bit more work.
I asked Barry that question, would you start tinkering with it, maybe put an alien or a tall Samoan guy in it, but he said maybe you would keep tinkering. Just, will this ever get out of your system?
No, I think it's, I'm sure it's one of those films that's going to live with me for all time, so, but I do feel proud about it, you know. I've spent 6 years on it, and there's another 2 years to go, so, you know, it's worth 8 years of your life. It's a very special project.
Sir, I'm going to lay the platform open to you now. Obviously, you would like to say something before we wrap this all up and send everybody in. I'll open the floor to you just to maybe final parting note to our crowd and to our media as well.
Hey, well, look, thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you so much. This is the proudest moment to have Wellington turn out and be part of this. Thank you. I guess it's a real pity we couldn't have a big screen up there and have an outdoor screening. But never mind, we'll have to try and organise that for next year.
Well, there was probably many a Lord of the Rings fan who felt like a clay troll was pounding at the brain today as the post-premiere effects kicked in. Up to 5,000 Wellingtonians turned up curbside to cheer the movie's launch last night, and after the film's screening, a chosen few hundred got to party at Peter Jackson's Miramar Studios. Certainly Jackson had reached an end of sorts last night with the Australasian launch of his New Zealand-made movie. The hometown mood was ebullient, plenty of kissing and happy hobbits. Come all three. Well done! And after the screening, it was off to party late at a place that resembled Hobbiton. That's what Tourism New Zealand and Trade Ends like to hear. They're hosting a Hobbit-style feast tonight, complete with medieval and English fare for international visitors. Well, despite the obvious success of last night's bash, it could be eclipsed next year. Peter Jackson says he's secured a promise from New Line Cinema that one of the 2 remaining films will have its worldwide premiere here in Wellington. So Middle-earth New Zealand could once again be the prime focus of movie fans from all over the globe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Orlando.
How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine. So, you went to the beach?
Yeah.
Nice.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. So the party's tonight.
We've just been chilling out, kind of relaxing on the beach before the big party tonight. Trying to get some sleep, just on like a million.
So stars like you can go on the beach without being recognized?
Yeah, damn right stars like us. At the moment, which is nice. We're enjoying it.
But after December 19, that won't happen anymore, you know?
I know, we're trying to sort of prepare ourselves. Well, I don't know, who knows what will happen then.
So what can we expect for the party tonight?
Man, have you seen what they've done? They've flown the sets over.
I know, eh?
You're going to be in Lord of the Rings country, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's going to be
Enjoy. I wish I could be there. Maybe I'll see you there.
Maybe see you there, man.
Is that a seal? There? Yeah. Okay, from that side.
Oh yes, it's motion pictures.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I'm scared.
Okay.
Hello?
I certainly got my head around what I was going to be involved with when I got off the plane. I took the plane with John Rhys-Davies to Wellington and was greeted by Pete at Stone Street Studios, and he showed us around Bilbo's house and then Bilbo's house in Hobbit scale, and I was just floored by the architecture and the work that had gone into it and the effort. And I remember going home that night and thinking, this cannot fail. You know, you have the most incredible actors, you've got this superb budget, a filmmaker who's obviously on top of his game, and from then on, I think the entire cast just had complete and utter faith in what we were doing.
Excuse me. Hello.
I don't know that it was ever different than I expected. I remember sitting down with Pete the first time I met Peter. We sat down and we talked about how the journey of making the film would in some ways probably mirror that of the characters of the book, and it was going to be quite an intense, long shoot, and I would have to devote quite a lot of my life to it. And that the prospect of having sort of a life journey with these people that would kind of sort of go sidelong with our characters was incredibly fascinating to me. And it became more than that, you know. I made some of the best friends of my life. It's weird because these movies have become so massive and have been received so well, and we're so proud of that. But in our minds, they're these films that we are so passionate about that we managed to have this incredible journey with together, and we're so sad that they've come to an end, you know. Who had the most fun off camera? Probably Vigo.
Yeah.
Elijah?
Fishing and hunting.
Elijah,
Can we get one more of the...
Sorry. We have a question for Mr. Jackson.
Well, I don't think either of us became actors so that we could get involved with huge box office pictures, you know. I'm an actor because it's something that I need to do. It doesn't matter in what field I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I am here with Hobbits and Tuxes, Sean Astin and Elijah Wood from The Lord of the Rings, of course, the most nominated film here tonight.
13 nominations.
I saw you two give each other a great big hug out on the red
He
carpet.
just got off a plane. He flew in from Vancouver for the big event. So yeah,
just
we're
to be here with
sitting in
everyone, support the film.
We're gonna cheer. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. What are we gonna do?
It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster, Sean.
I know. I'm already there. I'm on it.
You must be so hot with your daughter. She must think you're it.
She approved of the tuxedo. She got dressed up. We took some pictures. Hi, Alexandra. Hi, honey.
Get ready to party tonight because it could be your evening.
You never know. You never know.
Nice to see you. Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Let's see what else is going on.